Welcome back, everybody, to this week's live episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel and also our good friends over at DCL Magazine. We'll be recording actually a show with Stephanie tomorrow evening. I've been debating whether we should do it like as an impromptu live or a recorded show, but I think we'll record it and we'll be putting it out a couple days later. All about the Destiny reveal event that we were invited to but couldn't attend. So Stephanie's going to be our proxy to tell us everything we missed, and then we'll sob a bit, and then we'll ask her some questions. So, but we've got a fun show tonight. Oh, I should stop and say, DCL Magazine, head over, dcl-magazine.com, sign up, buy your issue today. It's here. It's ready to ship to you. It's fantastic. You want a copy of this magazine. We're really hoping to make it a thing. So head over to dcl-magazine.com and DCL Duo, all caps, in their store, 10% off everything in the store. So use that code DCL Duo in their store, all caps, for 10% off everything. I have to start by saying, people have commented on this before. I commented tonight in the chat, like the new music for that 30-second countdown is really throwing off my game. Like it was so much more energetic before, and now it's kind of like lulling me to sleep before we start. So gotta bring the energy level back up. But I'm excited for our show, Sam. Are you want to introduce our guest? Yeah, I'm super excited to have Wesley back on. Now, Wesley came on, for those who don't remember, he actually did 2 episodes with us about the Wish, and we did them kind of, I think we did them about a week apart as far as when we released them. But of course, we recorded one before he went on the Wish and one right after he came back from the Wish. And it was basically, it was a little bit afraid or apprehensive. And it was such a great show, or such great 2 shows, to talk about what things you were apprehensive about and then to see what actually came to fruition. And so we were super excited to have Wesley come back on the show. Now, Wesley is a gold cruiser, and as you probably saw from our promos, but he still got to experience a bunch of firsts on this recent cruise. You literally just got back like less than a week ago, Wesley. Is that right?
Time goes by so fast. It's been almost a month.
What?
Yeah. I think we switched around the schedule a little bit. Yeah, I was going to be on like 2 days after I got home.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I got
it was our schedule that got screwed up, not yours. That's right. I'm like forgetting, because we were supposed to have you on right after, and then we had to switch things around.
We should say Sam is powering through tonight because
I'm sick, if you can't tell from my voice.
Yeah, I got off. I was not on the live last week because of laryngitis, and apparently I gave it to Sam, and so Sam has been dealing with it, but her voice is back, but her nose is running. So
I have lots of tissues, so I will, and if I have to cough, I'll mute myself, but I'm sorry, sometimes the nose faucet just turns on and I can't help it. So I just will, it's just a thing that happens sometimes. But yeah, we're super excited to have Wesley back on the show. We're going to talk about, as you can see from this beautiful PowerPoint that he did, he was on the Disney Magic for 7 nights. It was a Bahamian cruise, and this was a repositioning cruise, actually. So we're going to talk about the itinerary. We're going to talk about some first. This was sailing out of Galveston. But before we do that, Wesley, we got to go back to your cruise line history, which I know is the very next slide, Brian. And so why don't you remind folks what your cruising history is? Some with DCL, some with some competitors.
Yeah, we kind of snuck in a Royal Caribbean there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I first sailed with my brothers and some friends in 2004. And then...
Wait, who is that guy? That guy doesn't look anything like you, Wesley. There he
Surprise.
The hair migrated down. That's what happened. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. When my hair fell out, I thought I gotta have something's gotta be going on. I can't be clean shaven and bald. So yeah, now I got a beard. So yeah, 21 years ago, I sailed on the Wonder for the first time. Land and sea out of Port Canaveral, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. And then you can see by the time I went on my next Disney cruise, there was 4 stowaways with me. One of them was my wife. The other 3 are my children. And we've kind of been hooked since then. You can see by the timeline. We've gone every year since 2002.
Nice. I got to put up here, Wes. Ann Mitchell is saying hello. Hey there, Wes. So passing along her hello. Yeah, this is great. These are some great looking photographs. B, it's a great looking family, and
yeah. Remind us of the ages of your kids.
I just kind of round up. They're 8, 11, and 14.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect cruising ages, actually. That's perfect.
You got all the clubs. You hit all the clubs.
Clubs, and from 2002 till now, they've kind of each had different types of experiences throughout the clubs going into Edge now. So things are still fresh for them.
They get along well on the cruises, and how does the youngest deal with not like the older ones being kind of in different spaces?
Okay, so they get along well enough. The oldest one, Preston, I saw him pretty much at dinner time on the cruise this last time, and he had, made some friends in Edge the first day and palled around with them. He knew he had to make it to dinner. He knew he had to make it to our port stops, and he knew he had to make it to at least one show with us. Other than that, I don't know.
Wow, you got him to a show. That's pretty amazing. I don't even get Nathan to a show, so.
Yeah, he did one. He did one of them with us, which I was pretty proud of. Oliver, our middle child, he, by old standards, should have still been in the Oceaneer Club, but is not now. And it was a bit of a tougher transition for him this time. Yeah. I don't know. He's probably an 11-year-old that would benefit from still being in Oceaneer Club, Oceaneer Lab, because it's a bit more structured.
Yeah.
And I think he would benefit from more structure in his life in general, but on the cruise that might help too. And then Max, now he's solo in the kids club, but this time we brought some family members with us who also have a young son who got to experience the Oceaneer Club and Oceaneer Lab for the first time, and Max was kind of there to help him out. So I think it worked out great.
Where does the love of Disney come from? Is it coming from you, your wife? Was she a Disney fan too? Like, where does the love come from?
Yeah, well, we grew up in Southern California, so we're Disneyland natives, and it's just kind of always, I don't know, it was just there. It's like tacos or the beach for us. It's just something that we've always had. And our first date was at Downtown Disney, and It kind of just grew. Yeah, we had annual passes for a long time before we had kids, and now that we have kids, we don't have them anymore.
It's too expensive now. We were just talking about our annual passes at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
they're making some choices.
Yeah. Well, let's jump right into this cruise. You've got the itinerary listed out really nicely for us. So you had some time pre-cruise in Houston and Galveston, some time post-cruise in Puerto Rico, because as I mentioned, this is a repositioning cruise. So you ended in San Juan. But let's jump right in. You guys flew into Houston. Where did you stay in Houston?
In Houston, we rented a car because we were there for a few days, and we stayed just west of Houston at a Hyatt Place. We love some Hyatt Place hotels. As you can see, they come with 2 beds and a pull-out couch, so it sleeps all 5 of us in one room, and that's what we like to do. So we look those up every time, and Max likes to work out when we get there.
I was gonna say, plus you got the workout regimen there. Kudos.
Yeah.
That's the 8-year-old, by the way.
Yeah. He's schooling us all. Look at him.
I love it.
Well, you got to get tickets to the gun show if you're going on a cruise. So there you go.
That's right.
Yeah. So I do think it's great for us to spend just a little bit of time on your time in Houston. Because folks,
I think it's hilarious though that you picked Potbelly and Whataburger. Both are chains.
Why not?
We get to the better stuff later on, but I was not involved in the decision making for these things. I picked up the car and my wife told me where to go, so we went to Potbelly.
So, but maybe Wesley, let's start with why Houston, not Galveston? Like why did you decide
stay there?
Yeah.
Well, you stayed in both, right?
Yeah, we stayed in both. We stayed in Houston because we had never been to Houston before, and why not? I don't know. We had a couple days, and we just wanted to try something new. But you can see I'm from LA. I worked for the Dodgers. I had a real problem kind of hanging out in Houston for a couple days, but I gave it my best shot. I will say though, the Potbelly, not great. No recommends there.
Nobody's gonna write home about Potbelly. I mean, it's not.
No.
There's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing great
No.
about it.
I mean, if you look at the
plain
sandwich though, the
out.
sandwich was tiny, and
Yeah.
I'm a full grown adult. That's not. This is not it.
Hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
It looks like you hit up the Children's Museum. How was that? As kind of was that like a half day thing? Like, yeah, tell us about that.
So the initial plan was to go to the zoo. The zoo was a zoo. It was bananas. We couldn't find parking, and the parking attendant like still flagged us down, made us roll down the window, and he's like, "What are you doing here? Like, you should go somewhere else. This is not great." So we ended up at the Children's Museum. So it wasn't planned. And
I mean,
great.
you're from Southern California. Why would you think to go to a zoo? You got the best zoo in the world in San Diego.
Yeah, well, we've been there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, I was just driving. Somebody else said we should go to the zoo, and I said okay.
For anyone who hasn't been to the San Diego Zoo, it is like bar none the best zoo probably in the world, at least in the country. The only thing it doesn't have is the pandas that are in the DC Zoo. That's the only thing they don't have.
But we know it has axolotls.
It does have axolotls.
Yeah. Well, so
I wasn't particularly bummed that the zoo didn't work out.
Yeah.
I'm not. The Children's Museum was more my speed. I was more into the Children's Museum. You can see the kids here. By the time we got to this museum, Papa and Yaya showed up, and my wife's brother, his wife, and 2 kids showed up. So there's 2 extra kids with us. And they did like this science experiment thing where they made oobleck, and I got to learn what oobleck was. And it was fun.
Please tell, because I have no idea what oobleck is.
It's I mean, I probably can't explain it technically, but basically it's like a liquid that's also a solid.
Oh.
So when it's at rest, when it's at rest, it's a solid or something like that. But then like if you hit it, if you like tap it, it like becomes hard and you can't like dip your finger in it. But if you rest something on it, then it melts.
Oh, that's so cool.
You'll have to Google it. That's basically
that sounds like something right up Nathan's alley. I gotta say,
yeah,
we would love to know that there's another state besides liquid, solid, and gas that there's this.
And I'm just glad it wasn't slime because we didn't take this with us and it didn't get on anything else. So we got to play with the oobleck with their lab coats on, and then it was done.
Yeah. Sam is on the anti-slime train for sure.
So yeah, I want to put this out there. They do that Stitches Space Goo in the kids club. They do it even the open house time, and so you can go and make slime in the kids club on board all the ships. And Nathan loves to make the slime, and then the slime comes back to the room. But do you know where the slime does not go? It does not come home with us. The slime, slime does not. We have an anti-slime policy in this house because we have stained one couch already from that slime. Yeah.
I've been a parent for 15 years, and I don't fool around with the slime anymore, and I don't care if your feelings are hurt. If I see slime, I just throw it away, and you can watch. I don't care.
That's exactly
slime's going away.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. You can play with it on the ship, but after that, it does not come home. Well, you got to hear about this barbecue place.
Yeah, you're in Texas.
Barbecue.
You're in Texas, yeah.
Right. So again, my sister-in-law, her sister lived in Houston for a little while, so they knew about this place, Killen's. And I was all for it. They gave me the address and I got directions and we showed up. We got the brisket, we got the pulled pork and the sausage. It was good. The sauces that you see here, this is all they had though, was tangy, coffee, and sweet. And I'm more of like a hot barbecue kind of guy.
Yeah.
So the tangy was probably my favorite. The meat was good. The sides, I'm a sides guy, I think I discovered recently. So the mashed potatoes, the corn, the baked beans those were like my favorite takes from this place.
Yeah.
Nice.
They look yummy. I'm a sweet barbecue.
That was great.
Myself, so I probably would have been in heaven.
Perfect.
For anyone listening afterwards, I always give the disclaimer, head over. We have a full PowerPoint presentation running tonight. Watch it on YouTube. You can see photos of the food. And Wesley takes some great photos. Great photos. So these are stunners. Those mashed potatoes do look mouth-watering.
They look yummy.
They were so good. They were so creamy, and I kind of held off on them for a while I didn't eat them right away, and then I did, and I was like, I made a mistake. I should have started with this and then ordered more. Now we'll have to go again.
All right, it looks like you found maybe a breakfast spot in Houston, Hugo's.
Yeah, the next day. This is outside of Houston again. I'm not really sure where it is, but I followed other people, and they took me here. It's called Hugo's. It's a Mexican restaurant. It was brunch.
Looks yummy.
So we got like some steak with chimichurri with like actual
good.
flowers, I think, and then like eggs. The desserts were crazy. You can see this last photo here is like a tres leche cake. It was so good. I think about it. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of weeks. It was so good.
Nice.
So good.
Sometimes we think about food after we've had it and just dream about it over and over again. It happens.
And not to plug my own stuff, but if you go to Instagram, if you look me up on Instagram, the stories, the videos, you'll see the cake. They had this Mexican hot chocolate like with a wooden ladle.
So good.
And churros.
Just a little little chili powder on the hot chocolate, I hope. A little chili powder?
No. I don't know. I think I was too excited to like adorn it with anything, but
yeah,
I'm sure they could have gotten it for me.
Yeah. And for those who don't already follow Wesley, he is V_55.71, and he is great stuff on Instagram.
Nope.
No, did I get it wrong?
That was close.
V55_71.
Oh, darn! I put the underscore in the wrong place.
Corresponds to what, Sam? Let's do a little test.
Years, of course, the years of Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Come on, anyone who's ever been to Steakhouse 55 or Steakhouse 71's got to know that, right?
And Wesley, do not apologize for plugging your stuff. Your stuff is great. I love following it. These photos are fantastic. That steak is leaping through the screen, and I want to go take a bite of it. It's
the egg looks a little under for me. That's all I'll say. But
the egg
steak looks awesome. But
the egg looks great.
Yeah.
And there was so much more than this. It was was too much.
All right, so you did the Space Center in Houston. We've done Kennedy Space Center. I don't know if you've done that out in Orlando or not, but what did you think?
No, we haven't.
What did you think of the Houston Space Center?
The Houston Space Center was spacey. I don't know. It was fine.
Is it like a full day? Is it like a half day? Like how long are we talking that you could spend there?
We probably spent. You could probably spend a lot longer than we spent, but I don't know. We probably spent 3-4 hours there.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the better
we saw some exhibit. The only real thing that I was interested in was the space shuttle on top of the airplane, and you can walk up in there and walk through the space shuttle and walk through the airplane, and that's what I was there for. Yeah. So we did that, and then you can see in the third picture there, we took a little tram ride around. They'll take you on a tram ride around the
launch facility.
Yeah.
I'm imagining
they don't launch anything there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
it's mission control. Mission control.
Yeah, but it's still like huge property there.
Yeah, and then they have like these old rockets, which is cool because they look up close. You can't really tell in the picture, but like they do kind of look pretty primitive. We watched a film. We walked through the thing. We did a simulator. I don't know. We got a group on, and
I'll tell you, Wesley, if you ever make it out to Orlando and you're going to Port Canaveral and you have the time, 3-4 hours I think is plenty, unless they're moving some big piece of equipment and you get stuck. But Sam's saying 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah,
anyway,
more.
Head to the Kennedy Space Center because they have some really cool exhibits, and the way they present this stuff I think is really cool. Like they walk you through a full launch scenario and like almost like a mission space kind of setting, and then I
want to go to Houston though, Brian. Well, first of all, we haven't sailed out of Galveston.
Sure.
So
sure.
I've never. Spoiler alert, I've never been to Texas other than a stop at the airport at Dallas-Fort Worth. That's literally the only time I've ever been to Texas, and I'm using air quotes for those listening because obviously that's not going to Texas. Okay, Buc-ee's. Obviously, we've talked about Buc-ee's before.
We have a change of wardrobe.
We have a wardrobe change. Is that a Buc-ee's hat? I love it.
Yeah.
Nice, a Buc-ee's hat. Yeah. I have now, even though I've never been to a Buc-ee's myself, I have now eaten their teriyaki beef jerky, and I have to give 2 thumbs up for the beef jerky. It was excellent. They have like a million different varieties. Did you get some jerky or their famous popcorn? What are the treats that you get at Buc-ee's?
So I just got I got the jerky. And then we just got like a huge drink, a huge styrofoam can of Diet Coke. The kids got other stuff. The kids got treats. I got a hat. And then that was it. That's what we came for.
And then you got a picture. Then you got a picture with, what is he? Is he what is he?
He's a beaver.
A beaver. I was like,
he's a beaver.
What animal is that?
He's a bucky. He's a bucky. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, cool.
Also,
I like it.
At any of these places, I did not see Josh Wilson, who I know was at these same places, like on these same days. It's weird to me, but or maybe I did and I didn't know. But
that's right. You two figured out you were on the same cruise and you never.
Oh yeah, we never.
You never met.
No, we're
wrong.
terrible.
I feel like the two of you should have met because like you guys would just get along so
You know what?
well.
It calls it. It's a conspiracy.
so.
Now I'm not sure Josh actually. I think Josh just makes it up as he goes along.
It's just
he
figured it out. Like
smoke and mirrors.
Or maybe he did know I was there and totally avoided.
Just ignored. I saw you.
Wow.
So this must be your hotel in Galveston.
Yeah, this is our place in Galveston.
That's beautiful.
It's a Marriott hotel.
The Tremont House or the Tremont
House.
Tremont House. Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about this place, man. It was so cool. It's like an old restored building. I don't know if it was a hotel at first, but it is now, and it's gorgeous inside.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
How's the room? How are the rooms or room?
The room was great. Go to the next one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the room was big. So again, there's 5 of us. So this was, I think, like a queen's like junior suite or something like that. But it was huge, had big vaulted ceilings, 2 beds, the couch pulled out, like nice wood floors. I don't know, just everything was like well appointed. There was enough, storage space there for all of our stuff. The bathroom was big enough, and there was even like a side. It's not pictured, but like behind the couch, there is like a little mini bar area where we can put all of our Buc-ee's snacks and drinks.
Nice.
Love it. Well, I have to say that Nathan is liking it so much. He's saying standby. He's rebooking their stay in Galveston.
Oh, I 100%. We have another sailing. Well, not to get too far ahead, but we have another sailing out of Galveston, and 100% I will stay at this hotel because the other perk for me is that you can walk to the port from this hotel.
Nice.
Which was one of our favorite things about our sailing out of San Diego was that we could just walk from our hotel. There's plenty of hotels around there. Many hotels close enough to walk in Galveston.
Funny enough, we usually walk in San Diego, but there has been once or twice, even though we've been staying across the street, that we've gotten an Uber to move us around to the port because the amount of luggage. We were going on back to back cruise.
Yeah. There was a time where we did back to back,
and I felt like I was cheating.
It was ridiculous. I love this.
Right.
You made a list of your Disney cruise first. But sorry, I just interrupted. You were about to say something about
That's okay. I was just going to say, Brian, I've heard about your packing situation, and I got to say, man, you got to just go to a carry-on only. Like there's 5 of us. Everyone gets 1 carry-on and a backpack. And if it doesn't fit in there, then you probably don't need it.
Oh my God.
And then everyone is self-contained. All of our kids carry their own stuff. I might pack a couple extra things in like Max's suitcase, who's the smallest.
How am I going to fit on my ears, Wesley?
Yeah, Wesley, it's not me. Let's be clear, it's not me. It's Sam.
No, it's both of us. It's both of us. We're both overpackers. Yeah.
I brought. Listen, I wear a size 13 shoe. I brought 3 pairs of shoes, sandals, and 10 hats in one suitcase with all my other. And
you went naked the whole cruise.
Listen, some of my clothes might be thin, but I had to bring pants. I was very disgruntled about the pants.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I did have to bring 1 pair of pants, and I even brought a 4th pair of shoes that didn't make it back with us.
Wow. Okay, so your underwear goes inside, outside, front, back, right?
Like thread. Yeah, like thread.
No, my wife packs laundry pods, man. We do laundry.
I will say that on this last cruise we did over spring break, I actually packed better than I have in a really long time. And there were a couple things I didn't wear, but I wore multiple things like twice and even 3 times because I just was much more.
My problem isn't the way there. It's the way back.
Oh,
Like,
that's
yeah,
true.
you know,
Brian always,
Mm.
we made a little pit stop at a Vineyard Vines in Disney
Oh,
Disney
right.
Springs, and so
Yeah.
okay. Well, so this show is about all of these amazing Disney cruise first. So we're going to try and tackle them in order here a little bit.
Well,
And
we got them in category in the PowerPoint,
Yeah,
but this is
yeah,
great. You got
yeah.
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 They're all
First,
good. So
yeah, first 7 night.
yeah, we can talk about this. We've only done 3-night Disney cruises. We wanted to do a 7-night cruise. We picked one that seemed unique and was the least expensive of that particular itinerary release.
Yeah.
And the other criteria was we're trying to like knock out all the ships, or at least I am. I don't know if anybody else in my family cares about that, but so the Magic on 7-night out of Galveston one way, and it was the cheapest 7 nights. So that's
it checked like multiple buckets just right there, right? Repositioning, 7 nights, hitting the Magic, and going out of Galveston, and then actually another bucket if you count ending in San Juan, right? I mean, just going to
exactly.
San Juan, right?
And we had never been to Puerto Rico before too, so there was a lot of incentive there.
Yeah,
nice.
So Tracy's saying once you go 7 nights, you'll never go back, Wesley, and she's not wrong about that.
No,
yeah,
it's
hard. It's very hard. Like especially going from a 3-night to 7-night. Like to me, like the 5-night is like the only like less than 7 that I can deal with now. I'm so spoiled, but yeah,
that's all right. I'll get there.
So this is the magnet that you made for the cruise, right? This sort of like retro video game style.
So I've been I'm not a great artist, but I figured out that if I just zoom in real close on Photoshop, you can just paint individual pixels, and I like the way it looks, so I keep doing it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, so this is what I made for this to commemorate this cruise. I kind of like to make things for each cruise just as like a memento, like for my family and stuff. Like I made this guy for a cruise that we went on in 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I made this one for when we were on the Wish.
So Wesley, for those at home listening later, Wesley's showing us some of his magnet skills here.
Sorry. Yeah, and then I made this one. But here's the thing: these magnets, I made them and shipped them to the hotel, the Tremont House.
Oh,
and
smart.
But they lost them.
Oh,
the hotel lost them. Yeah. So I got the confirmation that they were delivered and everything, and so when we checked in and went to get them, and they weren't there.
So you ended up not having them for the cruise? You just
I didn't have them for the cruise.
That stinks.
I know. And I like to order enough so that I can pixie dust people or just like throw them on their door or whatever. So in the WhatsApp chat, I told people if they wanted one, they could email me, and I mailed them out to people after I got home, because the magnet company sent more of them to my house while we were away. So everyone got one who wanted one.
All right, so we got a photo up of the Port of Galveston here. I see you've mapped the walk from your hotel. That's walkable.
Awesome.
That's
totally
walkable.
Yeah. It's like 6 minutes. It said, and it's not exactly this building. It's like another like 50 yards to the actual terminal, but that's the gist of it. Yeah.
And how is the port itself?
Fine, whatever. You can see it's a warehouse basically. It was a mess getting in. I think Josh said that he was able to like get right in, and there was just like a mob of people when I got there. Our arrival time was like 11:15, so give or take a few minutes, we showed up, and they didn't have any signs saying what group was boarding or who can come in or whatever. And our family is there was 2 families that were Silver Castaway, and then one that had never sailed before, so our arrival times were spread apart. And to Josh's point he made on your show a couple of weeks ago, they just gotta let people stay together. So my brother-in-law, he is the new sailor, had to use the restroom, so he walked up and said, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" And they're like, "Oh, it's inside." And they just let him go in, and I was like, okay. So he just never came back out. And then they weren't really checking your boarding pastimes, and And we went in at our time, but then my sister-in-law, who was there with the 2 kids who had never sailed before, they just kind of tagged along, and you know, we got to the security pretty quick, and then check-in took a few extra minutes, but we were ready to get on the ship within maybe like 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yep.
There she is, beautiful Disney magic. Yeah. I see the aqua dunk over here on the far right, and I know that's on your list of firsts, and it's near and dear to my heart. So what did your family think of the aqua dunk?
I think everyone loved it.
Yes.
I think it's they got to do more of these, or more, or they got to do similar intensity, or you know, something. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be too divisive, but like the Aqua Mouse just ain't it.
Listen, I get it. There are people who need that thrill. They want, like, we don't have any, roller coasters on Disney cruises, at least not until the adventure comes out next at the end of the year.
You know what I saw was Norwegian. I think it's Norwegian. Norwegian Aqua, I think it is, has a roller coaster. Has a water ride roller coaster hybrid where you like sit in the thing and an arm comes back behind and pushes the raft faster than you. You know, it's like a launch almost, and then it's like a roller coaster that you're on, but on a raft. It looked like
that doesn't
Disney.
Sound safe.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's like the crushing gusher at Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's 2 of them, and it's like a simultaneous launch on this ship you're talking about.
Yeah.
You sit next to each other in rafts, and you go up at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand why there's one slide that, by the way, the yellow slide on this ship, like, it doesn't even push me all the way down. I basically just have to get up and walk in circles till I get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because it's like nothing. So like, basically for adults, there's one slide on this ship.
Yeah.
And it's like the most terrifying one. I had never done like this dropout kind of slide before where the floor drops out from under you, but I'm a fan. I loved it. I did it a couple times.
Yeah. The problem is, Sam, what you said earlier was it doesn't sound safe. Roller coasters aren't supposed to sound safe. That's
fair. I'm gonna say, though, I agree with you on the yellow slide, though. The yellow the twist and spout, or the yellow Mickey slide, whatever. I think it's the twist and spout. It's on that, and on the it's the only one on the Wonder, actually. But yeah, neither of those is really. I mean, you're allowed to go on it as an adult.
Sure.
But it's not going to get you all the way down. And actually, even worse, though, is that little slide on the Wish and the Treasure, that yellow slide that's the Rex. I can't remember what it's called.
Slidosaurus Rex.
Yeah, that one is even worse. So you will get stuck on that slide.
I did. Yeah, I was walking up there, and I could just see the cast member was like, "Okay, buddy."
Yeah, I mean, it's not meant for even like a small adult. So
it's not, but like come on, like, okay, I know the Magic is the oldest ship in this fleet, but like there's newer ships that are coming, and like similar size ships now have multiple water slides that are of substance. It's ridiculous. Like, we need to
Disney focuses, for good or bad, Disney focuses very much on the aesthetic of the ship, right? And what the outside and what the shape of the ship is going to be. Not counting the Adventure, because obviously they didn't purpose build that ship, but like for all of its ships that they have designed, built, they focus so much on that means that they don't have, sort of this open space to do whatever they want, like they do on Royal, right? So they don't have the go-kart space, or the space for the climbing wall, or the space for 3 water slides. And so it's good and bad, right? Because I think some of us love that ocean liner look, and there's something so magical and beautiful about seeing a Disney ship in port and knowing that you're about to get on her. But it also does limit what they can do on those top decks. So it's a trade-off. I see you unpacked. We always unpack. So this is
I never unpack. My suitcase goes like, and then it just goes under, and that's where I live. But we splurged, right? We're on here for 7 nights, so I hung up my stuff.
Did you like put your hats on a shelf like in a row?
No, we have people get those hooks, those magnetic hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my hats fit nicely on those hooks, like on
love
back of doors and on walls. And
Did
stuff,
you find enough storage in the stateroom for everybody?
Yeah, for all 5 of you.
Yeah.
Oh, hard to say. My stuff stayed in the closet by the door, and I just kind of went for it. I asked our stateroom attendant for more hangers, so all my stuff got hung up. And then everybody else had whatever was left in the rest of the room.
I mean,
it was a bit.
Wesley, if you're the one paying for it, then I guess that's fair.
I don't know. I don't know how well it went over with my wife, who wanted her dress. I shared.
Right. Like if she had dresses, her dresses got to hang up.
She hung some stuff up too. I wasn't a total hog, but
what are the sleeping arrangements? So you've got the main bed, the couch bed, the bunk bed. Is there a Murphy in here too that we just can't see?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's to the right of the picture. Yeah. Yep. So the oldest one, the 14-year-old, sleeps on the Murphy bed, and then the other two rotate top and bottom.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. I gotta ask, what's hanging? Is that like a hanger for like swimwear out on the?
Oh yeah.
The balcony?
So my wife bought this. What do you call them? What are they?
Clothesline.
Like a clothesline. Yeah. Thank you. A clothesline with those magnetic hooks, but not all the walls in our stateroom were magnetic, so we had to do it outside. Yeah, it's just a clothesline. It has clothespins, so we can hang our swimsuits and stuff up out there.
Nice.
And without worrying about them blowing off, I guess. I mean, you got to be careful when you're putting stuff out, especially if you're at sea, particularly. If you're at port, not such a big deal. Ordering room service for the first time.
We hardly ever.
We have done it, but we never do it. We have done it in the past, but it's been years and years since we ordered room service.
I can't go back. I can't go back now. 3-night cruises are so fast, and we're just always like going. There was not ever any time to really do it. So we did. We made a point to do it. And once Oliver and Max figured out that it was an option, I got to be honest, they just wanted to stay in the room and order food all day. And I came in one time, and then we're watching some like haunted house show where like you try to like stay as long as you can in a haunted house, and they're just eating chicken strips. And then they figured out they can order a whole pizza from Pinocchio. So they went and got a whole pizza. They ordered room service, and they're watching like ghost stories.
Oh my God. It sounds like the best.
So in other words, they're living their best lives. I love
it. They're just doing it.
I'd be laying in bed eating the pizza and some chicken strips. I mean, I love it.
Linda says there's a chocolate hazelnut cake on the room service menu that is amazing. So
I do like hazelnut. I'll have to try that. But it wasn't only a couple days till I caught on to the room service thing, and there's no pictures or evidence of it. But I might have ordered buffalo wings as an appetizer before dinner. About halfway through going forward.
Disney Cruise Line makes some good buffalo wings, especially on the Wish class ships in the pubs. They're
but you have to pay for those. The ones on the room service menu are included.
The ones on the room service menu are included, and they're big and darn near perfect.
Yeah.
Darn near perfect. Yeah, it's going to be in trouble. So they got room service that night because for the first time we went to Apollo dinner.
Yay.
Hence the pants. The pants referenced earlier in the show. Yeah.
Here's the pants. You can tell how uncomfortable I am.
So do you never wear pants? Like I assume you wear shorts then, but not like that you don't go, shorts, in underwear. But like
it's the beauty of Southern California, Samantha.
Yeah.
I used to wear pants, but then I thought, what's the point? And now I don't. So
I kind of love that you just are like, I don't, Brian and I are both lawyers. And so in our workplaces, like, I'm not saying you can never wear shorts. Like there may be, my workplace, you really can't wear shorts. And actually one of my coworkers does and gets away with it. But in general, I wouldn't wear shorts in my workplace. Brian's workplace, you get away with shorts in the summertime, but they'd still have to be like khaki shorts. They couldn't be like athletic shorts.
I bet at Apple you could wear shorts to work.
Yeah.
It
doesn't work at Apple.
Engineers.
I know.
Engineers at my workplace can get away with a lot, but lawyers not so much.
Yeah, lawyer. I guess it's the lawyer thing that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesley, I have to ask, trick of the trade here. How'd you get
For
this? Is
what?
a great photo. You and your wife walk,
is a
like
great
it's got
photo.
motion to it, and I love it.
Yeah.
And like, what did you have someone take this for you, or did you like throw on the timer?
Yeah. No, my mother-in-law was in tow, and I just set up the camera and taught her how to use it. So I said, I
Nice.
took her pictures first, and then I said, okay, that worked out. So stand here, hold like this. Did all the settings for her. This is my camera.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's not. Once I get it set up, I just tell people to put their hand through the strap and hit this button, and it's.
You make it idiot proof, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't describe my mother-in-law like that.
No, never. No, never.
She's a good.
No, never.
I don't know if she's still in the chat, but.
All right, so Palo dinner.
Palo dinner.
What'd you think?
We got some pictures of food, Brian.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
There's the chocolate souffle for Tracy. And
I
for
see a
TT.
prosciutto pizza. Yeah. I see the Dover sole. I'm loving where this is headed. What'd you think?
Yeah.
I don't think I've fully recovered. I was so stuffed by the end of this meal, but I just wanted to keep ordering. There's still things that I ordered that aren't in these pictures. Polo dinner was excellent. The prosciutto pizza, the cheese pool is phenomenal. The Dover sole was more than I expected. It was so soft and tender and like melty and succulent, and what are other words that I could use? It was good.
Lightningy.
Lightningy. I like lightning.
Yeah. And our server, Oscar, was great. You know, he did the deboning wonderfully.
By the way, your mother-in-law and father-in-law are both still in the chat, because Ed is saying she is in the chat. So is your father-in-law. And then Anne is saying, yes, I am.
Can I just say your father-in-law's photo? Can we put that back up to him? Fantastic. Bravo to you.
Wait, you're the one on the PowerPoint, Brian, not me.
No, it's this photo. His.
His that photo. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that's.
Bravo, Ed. Bravo. I love it.
Love that. Hi, Ed. Hi, Ann.
Ed's a fun guy.
Watching. Yeah.
And then the souffle was.
Are they Papa and Yaya?
Papa and Yaya.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Paulo's a winner for you.
Yeah, Paulo's a winner. Yeah.
And the chocolate souffle.
Fantastic.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard you guys talk about it for so long. I've heard Brian talk about the Dover sole. I wanted to try something different. Like I've had steak, you know what I mean? Sure. I've never had this before. So this was.
You can't really go wrong. That's the thing about we give recommendations for Palo dinner. I want to say for Palo brunch, you actually can go wrong, but for Palo dinner, just like by choosing all breakfast food and not going for the real Italian food, where the stars are, right? But Palo dinner, I don't know that you can really go wrong, because there's so many good things on the menu. If you throw a dart, you're bound to hit at least a couple of them.
But Sam, you can ruin perfection like you do by not using the creme anglaise in your
amaretto souffle. I do eat the. I do always choose the amaretto souffle, and I don't actually put the creme anglaise.
She literally just eats it like cake. There is.
I do. I eat it like cake. Yeah, I know I'm weird. Well, I just it makes it not quite as sweet. I like it a little less.
Oh
sweet.
No. Yeah. I wanted all the sweet. I want all of it.
I understand. I know that when it comes to desserts, though, I know I'm weird. Like I know that I have really not normal taste when it comes to desserts, because I really don't like sweet things. Yeah,
Tracy says, and Sam, we judge.
I know. I am not a sweets person, so I tend to go for the desserts that aren't that sweet, or I skip dessert.
Between the Aquadunk and Wesley's sage choices for dinner at Palo dinner, I feel like I'm in Step Brothers and we just became best friends. These are everything about this is just going.
No, I mean Brian literally would eat this this would be like his perfect meal.
Yeah.
There was there was not pictured, but there were some fries involved and some mac and cheese that I think maybe I looked at, but then it was impossible to eat.
Yeah.
My wife got the gnocchi, and it was probably perfect. It was so good.
Yeah.
This is before I ate it, but I probably, if I was going to be weird about the souffle, I probably would not put the ice cream in it and just eat the glaze and the cake. Yeah. But
all right. Good. Wesley, your first time, your senses did you do a haircut and a shave? Talk to me about your first time in the spa.
My first time getting a haircut there. So my barber, she just quit. I guess she's going to she's going to nursing school, so she can't trim my beard anymore. So it had been a couple weeks, and I thought this is the perfect time. I'm going to do it on the ship.
I love it.
So I went and I got my beard trimmed and my head shaved.
I love that.
And then I had ice cream.
It's perfect.
Now, did you do the full, like, you know,
you do like a facial kind of a
facial?
thing?
Oh, no, not this time. This time I just wanted.
Okay.
I just needed a.
I don't know if they can. Can they even do the facial when you have a
Oh, sure.
beard?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw there was a guy at Hooks who was doing it. Yeah, no.
Okay, well, that's good. Listen, someone without facial hair doesn't know. I don't know that you can do that.
Get with it, Sam.
I'm loving this. I'm actually loving this show.
I tell you, Wesley, like just treat yourself the next time, because like the hot towel, cold towel thing, it just like puts me to sleep. It's so great.
Well,
it's just so great.
Yeah, I have a plan, and we'll get to it later. But yeah, I think you might be right.
Nice. All right, first time experiencing the infamous Mickey churro waffle. And
how is this? Wait, how is this possible that you haven't had a churro waffle like on the Wish, when on Castaway Day or on one of the other?
I don't know. I've never. I mean, in the chats, no one's ever said that they were there. I don't know. As far as I know, they don't do them on 3-night cruises, right? I don't know. Maybe they do, and I just missed it.
Yeah, they do. They don't do them always, but they do them on some of them, I guess. Yeah.
I'm also not sure when they started doing them, because I don't remember them being on cruises when we were first. Like, this is a newer thing.
But they weren't maybe, I think, as well known about. Yeah.
Fair.
What did you think?
So my wife got them. She put the strawberries on them. I got them. I thought they were great. I mean, it's a waffle. It tastes like a churro. It's sugary, and that's just what you need right first thing in the morning. I didn't take your advice though, because I also did get syrup.
I see it. I see it lurking there.
Listen, I'm okay. You get it on the side, and then you decide whether or not you like it with or without, right? Because you can always dip. You don't have to pour it on top.
Exactly, and you can barely see it in this picture, but I had this thought pre-cruise that I should bring some, like, a little thing of Nutella, because I love Nutella.
Oh yeah,
that's.
I didn't do it, but I just randomly asked, and the cast member pulled out the biggest bucket of Nutella from somewhere. He was like, he was expecting me to ask, and he just gave me a big. And the churro waffles with Nutella, I think, is where it's at for me. So that'll be something that I do.
I am making note of the availability of Nutella, because I love Nutella, and I never eat it at home. So yeah,
and I've never seen it like openly displayed like at the buffet anywhere in Cabanas or Marceline. So I was just like, "Hey, you got some Nutella?" And he was like, "Today's your lucky day," and just it was like all of it.
There are these pastries that are at Palo Brunch that are in when they give you the sort of tray of the sweet pastries, and there's these ones that are like these Nutella. I don't want to call them muffins, because they're not muffins. It's more kind of like a cinnamon roll, but doesn't look like a shape of a cinnamon roll. But with Nutella in them, and
it's more. It's brioche. It's basically brioche with Nutella.
I think you're right. It's brioche, but it's like this woven thing with like Nutella in the middle, and
braided.
And it's delicious.
It's delicious.
And I'm not a huge Nutella person myself, because it's very sweet, but it's delicious.
So this part of the show is probably going to get replayed more than any other, because everyone's going to want to know, Wesley, how'd you get a cabana at Castaway Key?
And actually, this is actually an interesting, I think, story, Wesley, because I know you posted on our Facebook group asking for advice. And why don't you tell people? I don't want to spoil it. I want to let you tell what happened, that you were able to.
I was just in a stupor. Like, it was like 2 a.m. and I'm just like, I've been checking obsessively for, weeks leading up to the cruise, and never, or not even just this cruise, for like all the cruises. I talk about it at work. I tell my wife, like, we're gonna do this one day, and it never, there's never availability. We were just like silver. No one cares about you. They don't care if you have a cabana. So, but I just kept checking, and then like, I forget exactly when it was, but like 3 or 4 days before the cruise, I popped on there like real early in the morning, and it was just like all of them, not all of them, but like 3 or 4. Not only were they available on Castaway, but they were also available on Lookout.
Yes, I remember, because you posted and asked, and I think you snagged both, right? Like, you snagged one for each, and then you post it in our group and asking people's, like, you ask basically like a survey, like, would you, if you could only keep one, which one would you keep? This is a big expense, of course.
It's a big expense. We had a lot of people, so we got to divide it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, as you can see, we stuck with the cabana on Castaway.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. And I'll tell people why I gave that advice, and I know others in the group gave that same advice.
Yeah.
You'd never been to Lookout Key before, and so the cabanas, we're talking family beach cabanas because you've got kids with you. So you've never been to Lookout Key before. The cabanas are further away from where everything else is, and they're wonderful and lovely. But if you only have one chance to go to Lookout Key, and it's your first time to go to Lookout Key, I would say,
and you want to experience the stuff on the other side of the
right.
island.
You want to check out Rush Out, Gush Out. You want to go to the store. You want to see, you want to see the junk canoe parade, right? Like, you're going to want to spend some time at the family beach, not just at the cabana on Lookout. So you're not going to get your full value out of that cabana on Lookout. And you've already been to Castaway, so you know what the experience is on Castaway. And so the opportunity to get a cabana on Castaway, in my opinion, that's the right call.
Yeah. Yep, I took your advice. We got this one for those reasons exactly. We had been there. I knew what to expect. In my mind, this was always the cabana that I was going to keep because it's been like this aspirational thing since the first time I went to Castaway in 2004. There's not much else to say. It was perfect. It was great. I mean, I could probably talk about Castaway all day, but like it might be my favorite place
in the world
that I've ever been.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a wrong answer.
Yeah.
Like if I ask you what your favorite port is and rapid fire, the answer Castaway Key should that is a satisfactory answer.
Yeah, I love it. It's perfect. And to get a cabana there with all of us there, and especially with my brother-in-law who had never been to Castaway before, who has small children, it was perfect because we were away from all like this commotion. We had more or less like a dedicated beach. I think the family next to us went out there like a couple times, but other than that, we were the only people in the water right out in front of our cabana. And cabana 11 is set back just a little ways, so you're like enshrouded a bit more in the plants and the trees, and I like plants and trees, so that was great.
You got to go back to our episodes about the wish to understand the greenery reference there.
It was so great.
I love it.
Like 10 out of like 100 million out of 10. It's so perfect. Look at this guy.
I mean,
there's a picture. That's my father-in-law. He's in the hammock. The ship's in the back. There's palm trees. There's sand.
Ed is living his best life.
And yeah.
There's a kiddo.
Outdoor shower. Yeah.
Preston. This is 2 pictures actually. And then it always has to end.
Yeah. All right.
Wait. You went to Lookout on? No, you did not go to Lookout on this cruise.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. It's coming. It's coming, Brian.
Oh, okay.
I
want to get to the comparison. All right. Pirate Night.
We'll get there.
It's coming soon, Brian.
So you finally get a Pirate Night menu. Is that correct?
Yeah, we finally get a Pirate Night menu.
And what do you think of the menu?
People are overly judgmental. This treasure of the seas with the pasta and the shrimp and the scallops. What's everyone complaining about?
Well, it's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad.
This is great. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Crab cake. Yeah. The one thing I didn't really like, and this is a theme throughout the whole cruise, it's not particular to Pirate Night, but these zero proof drinks.
Yeah, you tried like every single one of them.
Yeah. But the ones with ice cream are not it. They're not like, I don't like the ones with ice cream. I don't think it's in here. I don't think I talked about it in the slideshow, but the tea with like the cotton candy from what's the other one? What's the other restaurant? Tangled. Oh, that's the one. It's not as sweet. You don't have to put the cotton candy in it, but it's still refreshing. Ooh, that's what I want. I want like more like Starbucks refreshers in these like drinks.
Yeah.
Not these like sugar bombs. I mean, they're good. I drank them all, but
Yeah. I got to put up this comment. You ruined your brother-in-law with the cabana. Now he's going to want a cabana for every trip,
Hey.
sort of like getting a veranda on the first cruise instead of a
Yeah.
first an inside room.
Yeah.
We were
We were
ruined.
spoiled
We
that
were
way.
ruined for very first cruise. We got a Serenity Bay cabana, and ever since it's like,
Yeah.
can we get another cabana?
Yeah.
It's all right. You know, now we're haven't years, and now we're with regular people on that beach. So we understand. All right, here's Lookout Key, your first time to Lookout Key. We got some great pictures, Brian. If you scroll through a couple of these slides.
Well,
but there's
so this
really
is
great.
Wait, hold on. This is all about the pier walk, I think, and I think the next slide is the comparison on the distance. Is that what this is for?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, go back a couple though. So okay, just up front, like Lookout Key is a fantastic place to visit. Like you're not going to have a bad time. It's so fun. It's one of the most spectacular places I've been to as well. Okay, now you can go. now you can move on. Okay, here's in my mind. This is what's happening. This was told to me, and I've read books and I've researched and I've taken tours at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland, and this is how this works. At Disney World, we'll do this for an example. You ride the monorail from the TTC into the park, right? And as you're on the monorail, what do you see? You can see the whole park. You can see the castle. And there's these things in the distance that like call out to you. The narrative of the park speaks to you before you even get there.
She calls you.
Yeah. And as you get close and now you get off the monorail and you're walking up, what happens? You can't see all those things that you saw as you come up. And now they're just in your mind. And now they're hidden and you have to go find them. And you have to go discover them. It's the same thing on Castaway. You pull up, you're on the ship. You can see the entire island. You can see all the activities. They're in your mind. And then you get down off the ship and you can't see them anymore. And now you have to go explore and check out the island. Now on Lookout Key, the only thing you see, there's nothing that's telling you, come find me.
Yeah. You can't see any of the beach.
Just concrete. Yeah. And I'm not mad about the walk. I'm mad about the lack of effort between the ship and the things that I've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for. And I'll get real heated about it. So if you want to move on, you can. But Disney, my sister's the therapist, and she'll tell you teach people how to treat you, right?
Yeah.
Disney has taught us, and they're very emphatic about it, that there should always be this detail, that there should always be this story, that there should always be, the next thing to look forward to. And then here, in my opinion, the execution fell very short of that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you don't have the anticipation because you can't see what you're going to.
Exactly. So what am I even doing?
It's a psychology thing. Yeah.
It's a psychology thing. It's a perception thing. The only thing I know when I show up to Lookout Key is I have to walk a half a mile to figure out what's going on next. And I have no idea because I didn't see it beforehand and I wasn't told about it on the way there. And they have an opportunity. Brian always says there's opportunities for improvement. There's ample opportunities to fix this. And maybe it was a COVID thing. Maybe it was a shutdown thing because as we've learned from the Treasure that maybe the Wish didn't get the full attention that she needed. Maybe the Pier, it didn't get the full attention she needed either.
I think we have definitely heard through various grapevines and stuff that, this thing had one vision that kind of had to be knocked down a bit in order to, fit into a cost structure. But what you're describing, Wesley, it strikes me as like, why couldn't they turn this into a bit of a ride queue, maybe too strong of a word, but like you could imagine like fun little posters all along the walkway with like the Mickey and Friends characters, like kind of giving you a sense of what you're in for. Like there they are dancing Junkanoo. Visit
I was going to say even just pictures of the Junkanoo dancers, the performers, the Bahamian performers in their costumes and things like that with the music as you're walking and
have some people in the morning playing music at the end of the pier. So it's like you're being drawn toward this sound, right?
I mean, what happens when you get off on Castaway? There's characters right there. There's like You know, there's things that are like immediately off the ship that kind of remind you of, you know, the narrative that's happening.
Yeah.
And here there's just nothing. And on that same note, like these buildings, you can see in this last one, I put a picture of guest services, but all the basic buildings, like where you get maybe like Disney Tings, like guest services, they're just not. These are not Disney buildings. These are boxes that have been decorated. There's no theme to these. These buildings are walls with literally just square holes cut out of them, and then they're painted, or maybe that's tile. I don't know.
I got to bring up this comment.
There's a very big difference.
This cracks me up. Look out, key money got spent on the Disney adventure instead.
Not sure the timing actually works out there, but I appreciate the effort. Yeah.
But there's a big difference between a themed building, or a building that is themed, and a building that is decorated. And these buildings on Lookout Key are decorated. They're not themed.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that. Yeah, I wonder how much of that, like, so some of this, I wonder if it has to do with, like, they know the island's going to get hit, storms, hurricane, like they're trying to make it more resilient a little bit in terms of the building and the build quality. I will say the interior space, like the bathrooms and stuff like that, are much nicer than anything I think I've experienced on Castaway. And then you do have those really gorgeous buildings at like the cultural center, those shells, the buildings they built to make look like they were like crustacean shells.
Like the shelters where you eat. Those are great.
Cool.
And in fact, there's maybe some other pictures. If you go to the next one, I think the cabanas are themed well. Oh no, they're not. Oh wait, is there?
No.
All right, but the rush out, gush out kind of play area, I think is themed a lot better. Yeah, but these other things are just like, and back to my point about like what is beckoning you to come explore the island. These are these like buildings with holes cut in them are the first things that you see. So now not only did you walk a half a mile in the hot, now you're just greeted with, I don't know, boxes. And that's disappointing to me, and doesn't really entice me to like, doesn't get me pumped for like what's next.
I'll say, I want to stop on this slide for a second and just say, like, I think the star of the show at Lookout is the beach. And I will die on the hill that I think the beach at Lookout Key is better than what's available at Castaway. And so that's for me is what differentiates this island, is that beach is just stunning. And its sand is so soft and the water is so perfect. The only thing I got to remember is to pack my water shoes, apparently, because the coral reef there. But I mean, did the family have a fun day? And did you get to experience any of the junk?
Look at them on the rush out, gush out. Look at that.
Yeah, that's my son on the slide, and he had a good time.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong. Like fundamentally, like it's fine, right?
Yeah.
There's just ways to improve that experience of the pier. I think that's what you're saying, Wesley. I mean, I don't take it as like that the island is bad. You're saying is like, this is where there's like Disney had an opportunity. They didn't do a great job with that pier in showing you what you're walking to, and there's definitely ways they could do that would not take a ton of
the overall infrastructure is great, right? The beach is much bigger. Brian, you're saying like the inside of the restrooms, yes, the fixtures are much better, like things work properly, but like like those things can happen on Castaway Key too. They can replace the plumbing on Castaway.
Well,
they could be new fixtures. But the story of Castaway is infinitely better than the story currently at Lookout Key. Obviously, we still had a good time.
Yeah.
We're still going to go back there. The sand, like we were all talking about, we were in the water felt like silky. You know what I mean? Like it was different. We live in Southern California. We go to the beach a lot. Like, and the sand and the water at the beach around here, like, is rough. And you can feel it, and it like kind of like grates on you. You get out and you feel it. And when we got out of the water here, like it was like
it's like powder.
The sand is. You were right. The sand is crazy, and we had a good time, and we will next time.
Yeah, I want to just put up two comments really quick. So Tracy's saying, I wonder if the Bahamian government had some say in what they did building wise. I think the Bahamian government had a say in a lot of what Disney had to do on this island. To be perfectly blunt about it, I mean that pier would not. Disney basically could not have built on where they built without the pier.
Yeah.
The demand was you must protect
Yeah.
the reef. And then similarly, Beth is saying you still can't see the beach from the sidewalks or walkways for a long time. Totally
So long,
fair.
yeah.
But that's because Disney had to protect the sand berms on the beaches. So like they couldn't
Yeah.
build walkways right up to the beach and bulldoze the sand berms down so you could see everything, because
Yeah.
that's why they have all of those wooden walkways that are elevated all
Yeah.
over the sand there. So a lot
And
of
I
this
kinda-
is environmental protection
Yeah.
that I think Disney had to
and
do.
that's fine, but just like, you know, let someone know about it. Like, to Sam's point, there's all kinds of opportunity on your walk to tell people about the reef and to tell people about the sea life,
Yeah.
and to tell people why they're walking so far. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think it'd be really nice if they had some really good signage as you're walking,
Yeah.
or even video screens or something like that, because they do have
Yeah,
the audio when you're on the tram, but I think it would be better if they could give you some visuals. Yeah.
Beth, I don't disagree, and I think for better or worse. So Beth is saying, for those watching or listening at home later, there was no Disney magic to me about Lookout. It's all about the Bohemian theming. Like, I don't disagree with that take. I will say I think that is kind of what Disney was either required to lean into or chose to lean into, is the Bahamian culture and less about the characters and, you know, that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And just be clear, like, I'm not against like the
Yeah.
culture. Like,
Yeah.
bring it on.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
like give it a little.
It's fair to ask, where's the storytelling? Where's the storytelling about the culture, and not just like they're doing a Junkanoo dance and, you know,
Listen, I love they have those characters. I wish they would do some kind of story about the characters, Lizzie the lizard and I forget what the crab, right? Like I actually think there is a real opportunity to weave in that cultural aspect more with those characters.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to talk about the shows, because this was the first time you saw Tangled, which is the Rapunzel show on the Disney Magic. Of course, you also you probably went to see the Golden Mickeys, and then of course Disney Dreams is on this ship. What did you think of these, 3 amazing shows?
Well, I only went to see the 2. We
fair
saw
enough.
Tangle and we saw Disney Dreams. And not to like ruin my own reputation, but I had not seen Tangled until we were at the Hyatt place in Houston. We watched.
What? You had never watched Tangled? You did not know Eugene Fitzsimmons?
No, in fact,
Herbert.
in fact, even at the Hyatt there, I'm getting old and the days were long, and so like we put it on and I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, she was calling him a different name, and I thought, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Yeah, Flynn Rider, spoiler alert,
Flynn
is
Rider.
Eugene Fitzherbert.
Yeah. So I saw it there. We saw the play. I thought the stage show was excellent.
Yeah.
I liked it. And I'm a fan. It was good.
Awesome.
Disney Dreams, on the other hand, I could probably do without. You could tell like it's super old, like the laser projections that are like screaming like 2000, like laser disc situation. It just felt a little forced. I didn't. Whatever. My favorite, like kind of like not like movie converted to stage show situation, is the Golden Mickeys. Is that the one where with Ensign Benson?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bob Iger.
Oh, sorry, that's not on this ship. That's on that's not on this ship. On this ship is the third one is Twice Charmed on this ship. Which
Twice Charmed,
really fun. Yeah, it's a Cinderella.
No,
it's a Cinderella twist.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
No, like I had enough Cinderella on the Wish. I don't want any more Cinderella.
Yeah, fair enough. I will say, there are plenty of people who love Disney Dreams. The storyline doesn't resonate to me as much. I think there's some great musical numbers in it, but it's not my favorite of the shows.
I just think it could have been like half as long.
Yeah. I think they just need to update Dreams. It's just been it's been the same for a while. Now, Lobster Night, this is your first time, because it was a 7-night cruise, your first time having that Lobster Night menu.
Yeah.
Was the lobster overcooked? I guess that's my main question. Yeah.
I think it's fair to assume the lobster will always be overcooked.
Yes.
But I've paid for it, and I had 3 of them, and I was happy with that. it could be a little overcooked. I'm gonna eat as much of it as I can.
Fair. By the way,
It was good.
I'm hearing from Yaya that your son is Maxwell Flynn, so I gotta
Yeah,
love
his name's
that.
Flynn. Yeah.
He's named after Flynn Rider, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had some other firsts, some
Mhm.
you did, it looks like bingo, and of course there's some drinks. You mentioned you tried like all the non-alcoholic drinks,
Mhm.
and then you hit up Match Your Mate. Tell us about,
Yeah.
were any of these highlights or lowlights?
I think they were all highlights. I think we had never really gotten into like some of the like later night like adult things because we were always kind of just with our kids or really tired from the day, so we never like got out and did any of that. Our kids were smaller before, so we didn't always feel like we can leave them. Anyway, so yeah, we had played bingo before. The kids like to play bingo. I won bingo for the first time, which was fun and great. It was like
I was
$157
gonna say, how much did we win? Yeah, so we paid
It
for
was like on the it was on the first bingo night of the thing. I won like the second game, so that was fun. Match Your Mate was hilarious. It was great fun. I really enjoyed it. We saw some other things. My wife and her brother played a game, and they won the game where you like try to say like what your parents would say or something like that. And you have to hold up shoes. I don't know what this is called, but
it's like,
that
how
was,
well do you know your family or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
It's like it's the family version of like a Match Your Mate kind of a
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, and everyone kind of stands on the stage, and
Yeah.
it was fun. Yeah,
Love it. By the way, Linda's saying so $157 split among 10 people.
Yeah, that and $5 will get you a drink in one of the bars. Yeah.
Funny she should say that because on a different bingo night, like the next time, like 10 people won one round of bingo. 10 people had bingo at the same time. So yeah, they literally all got like $20.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer when that happens. Because if
Yeah.
you're gonna win, you want to like win
You want to
big
go
or split with only maybe one other person. Yeah.
right.
So you had rounding out your first here. You had your first medical evac off the ship. It looks like it was a stop in Miami. And you had your first, everyone's first water feature on board the Magic.
Yeah. Miami was cool. So like we turned around, we tried to go to Key West, and like the Coast Guard was like, it's not like life or death. So like go somewhere else. We're not going to help you. So we turned around again and went to Miami, which was really cool because I don't think you're on a cruise ship a lot in the middle of the night in Miami, right? Because you leave in the morning and come back in the morning. So this was cool because Miami is beautiful, and we went all the way down. We were there for about 30 minutes. They got the injured passenger off. She slipped and hurt her knee coming out of Cabanas, which was a bummer. Yeah. And it put us a little like we didn't lose out anything because of it. You know what I mean? We just got to go to Miami, and it's beautiful. And it was beautiful at night. It was like 1 a.m. and the deck was all lit up, and Miami skyline is in the background. And
did they make an announcement? So like, how did you know? Because sometimes they make announcements, a few hours earlier. They don't usually make announcements in the middle of the night because they don't want to wake people up. So how did you know? Because obviously you stayed up to take this great photograph of Miami skyline.
Yeah, it took us a while to get there. Right, it was like an ongoing. It like happened in the morning, the injury. And so everyone had kind of been chatting about it like on WhatsApp. And so we knew that there was an injury. We knew that we were going to have to do something to get this person some medical attention. And so everyone kind of already knew, but they did make an announcement like still while everyone was awake that we were going to Miami. And like I said, we didn't get to Miami till about midnight. So
yeah,
we were quite a ways away. We were like, over by Key West.
Yeah. I mean, because you guys are going, pretty far to go down to San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
and that was before our first port stop. So it was just on our second sea day. So we hadn't even gone to Castaway yet. So we were maybe like an hour and a half late to Castaway the next day, but they extended us even later into the evening at Castaway. So we didn't really lose anything. Yep. And then on the second to last day, people started chatting about like their bathrooms like overflowing with water, and then soon after that we caught a glimpse of like water coming out of the ceiling in the atrium, and they pretty quickly closed it all off, like blocked it off totally in decks like 3, 4, 5. So you couldn't even walk through there at all, which kind of quarantined off the whole area. And that was a bummer because we usually, like, on the last night, we'll go down and take pictures with the statue, and we missed out on that.
Yeah. Well, and they usually have like they have farewell thing happens in the atrium. And of course, a lot of the character, picture opportunities are usually in the atrium. So you had to kind of readjust that.
Yeah. So we did this the day we were getting off. We ended up going, we went up to the pool deck and took a picture in front of the funnel. So we had a whole family picture. So it worked out.
Yeah, that's a great picture. You send it to me and I use it for the social media post because it's such a great family picture. I love it.
Thanks,
Shout out to Papa and Yaya who are featured in the photo.
And Joe and Aspen.
I love it. I love it. Well, you mentioned you've got some stuff planned. So what do you've got planned next for Disney cruising or the like?
Disney cruising and the like. We I'm happy to say that we will be on the maiden voyage of the Disney Destiny.
We're gonna get to meet you, Wesley.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm super excited about that. And then that's in November. In December, we're going with more of our family on a cruise over New Year's Eve on Royal Caribbean.
Nice.
Out of Galveston, a 7-night out of Galveston again.
Awesome. Now for the Destiny, is it just your family of 5 or is the extended family coming too?
It's my family of 5 and Yaya and Papa.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, Papa and Yaya, I'm going to get to meet you too. Oh, that makes me so excited.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like I had been pushing, Disney cruising a lot on everybody in our family, and some people aren't into it, and some people are getting into it, and some people have done it before. And so I had mentioned, hey, maiden voyage goes on sale. I'm going to book it if anybody else wants it. No one said anything, so I just kind of like, all right, I guess not. And then Yaya shows up to a soccer game, and she's like, I did something, and I was like, and I like screamed out. I was like, yes.
I don't think Papa knew about this, by the way, because he's saying "and?" question mark. He might be just finding this out right now.
Yeah, you probably have to work some OT, Papa. Sorry.
Nice.
We'll figure it out.
Well,
those are our 2 things. One more thing. When our kids turn 12, we take them on a trip. My oldest son wanted to go to New York, so we did that. Oliver will be turning 12 early next year. And he said he wanted to go someplace with like good seafood. So I booked an Alaskan cruise for me and Kim and Oliver, just Oliver.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's next May.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Well, Wesley, let folks know where they can find and follow along with you one more time before we round down.
Especially because I screwed it up the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. So I'm trying to post as much as I can on like Instagram and TikTok. It's at V55_71. There's more videos from like Castaway. I ran a Castaway 5K and then tossed my running shoes. I'm not going to done running. I don't want to run anymore. So I did the 5K. I got the medal. Then I tossed the shoes. There's a video up on TikTok. If you are so inclined to watch that, you can.
That's hilarious.
But another thing I did was, there's some other videos we made of like dinner and, just random pictures and stuff. So Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. What's the other one? Threads, Facebook. It's all the same. V55_71.
Nice.
Love it.
Awesome.
Well,
I love all the content you put out, Wesley. So definitely recommend folks head over, check that out. For those of you out there watching, thank you for watching, and we will be back next week, regular time, Monday night, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and we will have Mr. Chad Pennycuff joining us to talk all about his cruise out of San Diego, the beautiful San Diego,
on the Disney Wonder. And I think this was his first time actually on the Wonder. So
his first time sailing out of San Diego. So.
Yeah, it's true, exactly. So anyway, but join us next week. Thank you again, Wesley, and of course, Wesley, you're always welcome back. We'll definitely have you come. We're probably not going to have you come on to talk about the Destiny since we'll be on with you, but I think we got to have you come back on to talk about your Royal cruise in December over New Year's. So anyway, everyone, thank you again for watching. We will see you next week. And till then, have a wonderful week.
See you real soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.